Okay. So I'm Massimiliano Zampini. I'm the coordinator of our master degree in cognitive science. So I'm here to try to convince you to enroll in our master. This is my main goal. So how many of you are here for the master? Okay, quite a few. So anyway, welcome all of you in Rovereto. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to all the people that are on streaming. They are online. We have all other people, foreigners or people that couldn't join us here in Rovereto that are following our presentation. So I think for those of you that are here that are interested in the master, maybe the question is, why should I apply to your master? Why should I come here in Rovereto? Well, there might be several possible reasons, because we are the first center in Italy in our research field, but I don't think it's enough. There are other good places in Italy and all over the world. I think the main reason might be that if you want to try to become an independent, successful researcher, if you want to start your career in research, why in Rovereto? Why at CIMeC? Again, there are different possible answers to this question. Let's have a look to our past student career. In 2015, we have tried to have a look at their employment condition. We made a survey, and this is the outcome of that survey. Most of them are at that moment were employed, but most importantly, they were employed in a PhD program, 80% of them, and this means that apparently we are quite successfully in providing them with the right skills and knowledge for applying to PhD positions. I think that they were able to get a PhD position in very few months. So after finishing the master, they were able to get to apply for a further PhD position and to get it in a small interval, let's say. And then most of them carry on as a postdoc. Some of them, carry on as a postdoc researchers. Other questions for them were, do we provide the right skills and knowledge so what's useful for you to attend, to be part of our master? And I think that most of them say that we were very or extremely helpful. The vast majority say that we are actually helpful. So it seems that what they have learned during the master was quite useful for them. Then let's have a look at where they actually have worked. So they work in many and in most important university and research centers all over the world, in UK, in USA, Germany, Italy, but also in other places. So it seems that we provide them with right tools for traveling all over the world. What are the other reasons for applying to our center? I think because we provide the right theoretical and methodological knowledge. So in our courses, we try to give you a broad overview of the main topics in the cognitive science field. So for being a good researcher, we think you need a strong theoretical background, and we try to provide it with our courses. But also, I think our master is important because you can get an hands-on experience of what does mean to do research. So you can really practice in various labs. You can really work with different people, many good, excellent colleagues in very different fields. And so you can have both the theoretical background, but also the practical experience for becoming a good researcher. Why we think that for you, Rovereto and the master at CIMeC is the right place, because it's also an international environment. Almost half of the students are non-Italian, so it's quite an international environment indeed. The official language is English. And what else? One of the positive aspects is that we accept just 40 students. So a small group of students, so it's the negative aspect is that we don't accept more than 40. But the positive is that we can really focus on those students. We can really have a sort of good supervision, we think. And then what else about our master student? So in our master student, we have two tracks. One track is Cognitive Neuroscience, and the other one is a Language Multimodal Interaction track. They are two tracks almost independent. So at the end, you get your degree in Cognitive Science, your master degree in Cognitive Science. But you can decide to follow two different pathways for getting that degree. And they are quite separate in terms of courses and in terms of research experience and topics. They have some aspects in common, some general aspects. The very first one is the structure of our study plan. The structure is the following. In the first year, our students mainly should attend courses. So we have mandatory courses. So those courses are for all the people. But we have mandatory courses for the Cognitive Neuroscience track and mandatory courses for the Language and Multimodal track. So they are different courses. Then you can also choose for constrained choice courses. So we have several courses that we offer every year, and among them you can pick up the most interesting for you. For instance, are you interested in animal cognition? Okay, we have a course for you presenting the current topics and debates in animal cognition. Are you interested in learning more hands-on, in having more hands-on experience with the neuroimaging tools? Okay, we have a course for you in which my colleague try to teach you how to analyze MRI data, how to work with the MRI machine or with the MEG machine, for instance. So you can, with the constrained choice course, you can try to define your personal skill and knowledge and your personal, if you want, pathway. And then in the second year is more dedicated to the practical and hands-on experience. In fact, you have just 2 courses mainly, 12 credits, free choice courses that you can choose among all the courses of the University of Trento. But then most of your second year is going to be devoted to the internship and the thesis, which are 2 different stages of your degree. So they might be linked, related. So you can do your internship starting on a project and then carry on with your thesis. They might also be different. So you can start your internship in one field, on one project, and then move to another project for the thesis. Okay, there are 2 different stages. And also, for sure, the administrative support and the regulation are the same for both cognitive neuroscience and language and multimodal interaction track. Now, let's focus a bit on the cognitive neuroscience track. I'm going to present you the cognitive neuroscience tracks, and after me, Raffaella Bernardi is going to present the language and multimodal track. For the cognitive neuroscience track, what are the courses that you are going to find next year? Okay, those are the mandatory courses, the courses that are for all the cognitive neuroscience students. We have courses in the cognitive neuroscience field, foundations of cognitive psychology, foundations of cognitive neuroscience, and foundations of brain imaging. All these courses are courses that are supposed to be for master students. So bear in mind, if you want to enroll in our master, that we are a master degree. So we are not going to, we think that you have already the basic skills, the basic knowledge for following these courses. If you shouldn't have them, well, we try to provide them a way for trying to bridge in the gap. But still, one important point that I want to stress is that it's a master course. Okay, so if it's your first time and you are interested in cognitive neuroscience, but you don't know anything about cognitive neuroscience, it's a bit risky for you to come here without any background. Okay. Then we provide you also other courses like Intro to Human Language, which is in common with the language and multimodal interaction track, and then some courses that are quite important if you want to start your career in research. If you want to do research, you should know how to run your experiment, so methodological aspect, and also how to analyze your data. So this is quite an important and central course for our master degree. And finally, also, we provide you with a course on computer programming. That course should help you to start to program. We focus on MATLAB, which is one of the main language used in many labs in cognitive neuroscience field. MATLAB is not the only one, but at a certain point we decided to focus on MATLAB. We couldn't teach you all the possible computer programming language. So we focus on MATLAB, but if you start to learn how to program with MATLAB, then it might be easy for you to move to another language. It's not really. So we decided, instead of providing you bits in different kind of computer programming language, just to focus on one, just to provide you really the way of try. At the end of that course, our goal is that for you you should be able to program your own experiment, okay, or to analyze your own data. It's the goal, or at least you should be close to that goal. And then we have also constrained choice courses or free choice courses, and those courses are for, as I told you, for defining your personal career and pathway. Are you interested in understanding the relation between the mind and the brain, studying it through the working on investigating, experimenting it in the neuropsychology field with patients? So next year we are going to offer you a clinical neuropsychology course. Are you interested in more, if you want, neurobiological topics? Next year we are going to offer you a course in brain cognitivity. Animal cognition, we are going to offer you a course in animal models. Are you interested in learning how to analyze the MRI data, how to start, well, we are not going to provide you all the skill and knowledge for running your own experiment with MRI or MEG. But for sure, after this course, you're going to know, well, you should know how to deal with the data. You should know how to use that skill. Maybe you're not going to be autonomous. You still need a bit of supervision, for sure. But it might be an important resource that you can put in your CV for a possible PhD application. Then we have also very focused courses on cognitive neuroscience, advanced topics, and in perception and attention. In that courses, they are organized like more or less journal club, if you want. So we provide you with papers, so there are no handbooks on that courses. You're going to get papers, and you are going to discuss those papers with the faculty in charge of the course. And the idea is that you should be able to then to read critically a scientific paper after this experience. And finally, we provide you also a course in scientific communication, because our idea is that if you are interested in doing research, you should then go around all over the world, attend conferences for presenting your research. You shouldn't just stay in your lab, enjoying your tools and your results. You should present, you should publish research for the scientific community. And I think we provide this first flavor how to do it in this scientific communication. This course might be useful also for your for the preparation of your thesis, for instance. But I think some of our students found it useful because they have the chance during their master, to present their research in conferences. Not many, but few of our students were quite lucky to have the opportunity of presenting their research in international conferences. So, and we can also support, in a financial sense, let's say, this kind of travel and experiences. Because I think it's important for us as well to have master students that present their research in conferences. We think that it's also a good sign, if you want, that we are actually doing a good job in preparing them. So I think I have finished my presentation about the master, and I'll be available for specific questions on the teachings, or more in general on the master, at 12:30. We should have 30 minutes for in a more informal, if you want, way for you to ask questions. And moreover, in this room we have some of our master students, Jasmine Pani, over there, Nicolas Menghi, okay, thanks, Stefano Bellelli, and Katia Rivera was supposed. Okay, okay. So those master students are here for you. If you want to ask them questions, they are available. So thanks to them for being here.